groups inside its border. Now, this is coming ahead of a visit from top U.S. officials. One regional expert says the timing is interesting.
The timing is quite striking because Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be in Islamabad in a few days to meet with top leaders in Pakistan. I think maybe the U.S. government wanted to send a strong message that it expects to have some very difficult discussions about this issue of terrorism when Pompeo is there in Pakistan this week.
All right, joining me now is Nile Gardiner. He is the director of the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation. So listen, the U.S. said to Pakistan, you support the Taliban. We no longer support you. We're pulling $300 million in aid on top of the $500 million we already snatched back. Why is this important?
Well, it's a very significant move. It's a demonstration, I think, of a far more muscular approach taken by the Trump administration towards Pakistan, as opposed to the very weak approach taken by the Obama administration. Pakistan, of course, has been an important ally for the United States for many decades, but elements of the Pakistani government, in particular the security intelligence services, for example, have been playing a sort of double game for many years, whereby they are not fully cooperating with the United States. They are in some cases supporting the Taliban and other Islamist terrorist organizations, and the United States is sending a very clear message that if Pakistan is to receive further military assistance, we need to see an end to the support for terrorist organizations by some elements of the Pakistani administration. So I think this is the right message to send to Islamabad at this time, especially ahead of Mike Pompeo's visit to the capital later this week.
This week, yeah. Now China has money. What stops China from filling the money hole?
Well, certainly, of course, the Russians, the Chinese seek to exert further influence in Afghanistan, Pakistan, in that broader region. But the United States remains undisputably the world's leading superpower. It is important, I think, from Pakistan's point of view to cooperate fully with the United States. The US-Pakistani relationship is far more significant to Pakistan than the relationship with China or with Russia. And it is in Pakistan's interests, I believe, to have a fruitful, productive relationship with the United States. That means a complete end to Pakistani support for Islamist terrorist movements.
What would you say is the current state of the Islamic State?
Well, the Islamic State remains a real threat, and it remains a threat in Afghanistan, where it is very active. Also, ISIS is extremely active, Al-Qaeda is extremely active in Afghanistan as well. We face a threat from a whole host of Islamic terrorist organizations, and by no means has ISIS been eradicated. It has been significantly weakened in its base of Syria. It has lost about 98% of its territory in Syria and Iraq. But the reality is that ISIS continues to spread its tentacles across many parts of the world, especially in East Africa, for example, inside Afghanistan, some parts of the Middle East. It also continues to pose a major threat in Europe as well, where ISIS operates a large number of sleeper cells across many European countries, stretching from Great Britain to Germany, France, Belgium, Holland, for example. And so ISIS remains a very deadly threat. And Afghanistan is an important battlefield whereby the United States is taking on ISIS, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda as well, in addition to other Islamist terrorist organizations. So the US commitment to winning that war in Afghanistan is vitally important.